I think singing was definitely a godsend for sure. I think it's just a huge blessing that I have for me to be able to do what I do.
Missouri musicians, then and now.
Ruby Leigh, good evening, young lady.
Hello.
I'm so excited to talk to you. You are
Same here.
a very unique individual. 15 years old, is that correct?
That is correct.
You are wise beyond your years. You conduct yourself like a very mature person.
Thank you.
I've seen a lot of videos, you're very active on social media, and I would never believe that you're a teenager, so you're killing it. You got 5.8K followers on Facebook.
Yeah, I'm very proud of that. And by the way, this is just back to the other question. I've been told that I'm pretty mature by a lot of people because I always grew up around older people and especially a lot of really experienced musicians like Mickey Gilly and people like that. And I've had a lot of advice, so I've been told that I'm pretty wise beyond my years.
That's awesome. You almost have to be to be doing what you're doing and playing gigs and booking and marketing and social media and stuff. It's really hard out there. It's hard to differentiate yourself from other artists, and it's hard to get engagement and followers and reactions, and you're just hitting a home run, so congrats.
Thank you.
RubyLeighOfficial.com. So tell me a little bit about the website.
Okay, so my website is just something that people can go to kind of discover more about me. I have a little electronic press kit there that tells people about who I am and what all I've done. I have some videos on there. It's not the greatest website, but we are working on really putting it together. It does need to be updated because there's a lot of new things. But it's just something that people can go to kind of just find out more about me that's not really on my social media. So it's kind of just like my life story, I guess, on my website. It's something that I can't really post all over my Facebook. And
I really enjoyed it. I spent quite a bit of time on it. I do have a couple questions, though, when it comes to like a bio and stuff. On your website, it said multi-award winning. Pat yourself on the back here. What kind of awards have you won?
Okay, so I've won a lot of different awards. I did the Loretta Lynn, So You Think You Can Sing competition. I won that. I won the Dolly Parton Soul Mountain Vocal Competition. I won the American Kids National Competition. And I also won a world title against 64 other countries at the World Championships of Performing Arts. In my age division, which was 9 through 16, I won a gold medal in country, a gold in gospel, and a silver in pop. And then against over all age divisions, against all 64 countries, I actually brought back the world title back to the United States that another country was holding for about 5 years at 11, which made me the youngest world champion ever to do that. So that's one that I'm really proud of. But there's a lot of other ones, but those are pretty much the main ones right there.
That's unbelievable. Like, do you understand like the magnitude of everything that you just said?
I totally do understand it, and I really feel very honored to be able to do what I do, because this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. And honestly, I feel like this is what I was born to do, honestly.
I would totally agree with that. Like, with just the little bit of research I've done and stuff. I mean, I'll get into that a little bit more here in a little bit. But, 15 years old, like when I was 15 years old, I was like sitting on my bedroom floor sorting out my trading cards, it's just wild.
Well, that's awesome.
Also, Nashville recording artist, I stumbled across that. Tell me about that.
So I recorded a CD in Nashville. I also recorded an original song in Nashville as well at Hilltop Studios, which is a pretty big and cool place. So I recorded an original song, and I recorded several sessions. But that's pretty much it for that. But it was pretty awesome to be able to do that.
That's a big claim, to be a Nashville recording artist. Like, that definitely raises eyebrows. So I bet that was an amazing experience.
It was, yes.
So you actually answered one of my other questions. I was going to ask you if you did any originals and if you only play acoustic or if you play in a band like on the side or do you do any other projects?
I try to branch out as much as I can. I'm totally welcoming to do new things, but I've played with many bands and several different people. But I try to do as much as I can with what I have, but it's usually when it's me, I play several different instruments, so I try to learn as much as I can. So I play a lot of stuff, but mainly guitar is my main focus. But guitar is probably the one I'm the best at.
What are the other instruments you play?
Okay, now some of these I just dabble in, so don't expect me to be like fantastic at it.
Okay.
I play piano. That's probably my second best. Ukulele, mandolin, harmonica. What else? Dulcimer. I play banjo a little bit. There's quite a few different ones, but I'm not fantastic at all of them.
So how did you end up dabbling in some of those? Like, because if you do the guitar and you're already really, really good at it, you almost don't need anything else. Like, is it just for fun, or are you kind of adding to some of your music?
After I got my first guitar, that was sent to me by George Gruen. Not sure if you know who that is, but he owns Gruen Guitars out of Nashville. And, my first guitar was a huge surprise to me. And there's actually a video on my Facebook of me opening it. But at that point, I was only singing a cappella when he saw me. I've never picked up anything. So he sent me my very first guitar, and I tried to learn on that. And ever since I got that, I've tried a lot of different instruments, and there's a lot of wonderful people that send me instruments. So a lot of my instruments are gifts, and pretty much most of all of them are endorsements. I've actually never bought a guitar in my life.
Wow.
And I have 26 guitars at home right now, and I've never bought one of them. So ever since I got my first guitar from George, it's been amazing, and it was a Martin guitar for first guitar too, which is awesome.
Whoa, top of the line.
And now it's full circle because I'm endorsed by Martin now, and it's just really cool cycle. But I've picked up a lot of endorsements since then, so it's been really good.
So over 70 songs. I'm sure that list has grown. You have over 70 songs memorized that you can play out?
Oh, no, that's grown a lot. Actually, I know over 200 songs now that are all memorized. Probably even more. We haven't really checked in a while, but 200 as of last year. But I've learned quite a few more songs. So I'd probably say 2.5 probably at this point. But definitely not 70 anymore.
And your website tells me no paper notes or digital instruments. So it's just you and your noggin up there, right?
That is true. Yep. It's just me. I usually have a set list, but it's just me and my guitar. I don't really mess with anything. And I've been doing that ever since I started.
The guy I used to play with, he used to have a chip clip taped to the mic stand where he would hang written lyrics sometimes. Shout out to you, Robert Wilson.
Yeah, I've never done that. I've just tried to learn everything, memorize everything that I've done.
That's so cool. You know, even a band like Metallica has to relearn some of their songs over time. And of course, they've been doing it for 30 years and have written so many songs. But to, you know, memorize over 200 songs, you know, and I'm sure that really adds to your performance as well, because you're not going out and playing the same stuff everywhere you go. And I know you play a lot of places regularly, so you're able to give them a different show every time.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Because I know there's a lot of people out there that get to see the same show every week, and I kind of want it to be diverse. I also take requests. I love to take requests. So if people have something they'd like to hear, it could be a song that I haven't played in years. And also, like you said about Metallica, there's times where I have to rehash some stuff. It's like, whoo, I haven't played this in a long time. But usually once I get like the first line of the song, I usually have the rest of the song memorized. It's really weird how my brain works. It's like I can't remember what I ate yesterday, but I can remember this song I haven't done in 3 years.
Speaking like a true musician.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how did you learn to sing and play the guitar? You were telling me about your first guitar. Was that the guitar that has your name on the fretboard?
No, that was not my first guitar.
Okay.
My first guitar was a Baby Martin. I still have it, actually. I would never give that thing away. And it turned into a autographed guitar that I have a lot of my favorite musicians that I've looked up to for a long time. I get them to sign it and play it. So it's something really cool that I've done with that.
What kind of signatures do you have on the Baby Martin?
So actually, most of all the signatures that are on there are people that I've actually played with and sang with. But there's some that I haven't sang with as well. Like, I just saw Peter Frampton last month, and he signed my guitar for me. There's quite a few people here. So I'm going to name a few.
Sure.
So there's Vince Gill, Lori Morgan, Pam Tillis, Mel Tillis Jr., Mickey Gilley, Johnny Lee, Brian White, Rhonda Vincent, Tony Jackson, Clint Black, Tracy Lawrence, Barbara Fairchild, Leona Williams, Billy Strings, Tyler Childers, and there's quite a few. Oh, and this one's actually kind of funny. Adam Wainwright, actually, at the St. Louis Cardinals. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but he actually is a musician himself, and he was actually one of the first people I ever sang for.
That is so cool.
Oh, yeah, he's also extremely nice. Actually, I got most of all the St. Louis Cardinals that signed my guitar as well. And I actually sang a cappella for him. This was before I even got my first guitar. He did a open karaoke competition, and I got third place in that, singing a cappella through the whole thing, and it was actually really cool. It was actually one of the only times that I ever sang in front of people, and it was my first singing competition as well. So it was really cool, but it was the only one that I've ever sang a cappella to get through.
Well, that definitely would be an indicator that you're born to do this, is when you're that young and you're in that situation and, you know, you finish so well. You're practically a winner, you know?
Yeah, you know, I felt like a winner for sure. I was like walking home, like, that's really cool. And then to have a friendship with him through the years, like there's times where we still talk to him. So it's very cool to be able to, you know, have his phone number and be able to talk to him and chat with him. So,
Ruby, I have a story for you. It's really neat.
Okay.
So check this out. I don't know if you've ever heard of him, but there's a vocal coach online. His name is Ken Tamplin.
Okay, yeah.
And one day I was just watching some of his videos. Like, I'm not really a singer and I don't play music much anymore, but I still enjoy watching his videos. And one of his students did Lay It on the Line by Triumph. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, cool. I didn't want to get that wrong. And after that video, you know how YouTube goes. It was suggesting other videos, and I saw a video and it said, I think it was titled like 13-year-old sings Lay It on the Line. And I clicked on it and I was blown away. I was like, holy cow. And I listened to the whole thing, and which I don't know. You know how YouTube is. Like, you don't always catch every second of the videos while you're browsing around, but it turned out to be you.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
It was you. Like, I hadn't researched you or thought about talking to you or anything. And I stumbled across that video while YouTubing, and it was you playing Lay It on the Line live. And like, my jaw was on the floor. I was like, holy cow. So then when I found out that you were the one that I was going to be talking to, and you were the one in the video, I was just so excited to tell you that.
Thank you. That's a great story. Actually, Triumph is a Canadian band, and I found them just browsing through YouTube because my family is not really classic rock or like metal or anything like that. So like most of my entire family is classic country, and my sister listens to rap. So it's pretty diverse. But yeah, Triumph is awesome, and I actually have had a little story about Rick Emmett. So I'm gonna try to keep this short. So I posted a video of me singing that. This was before it was on YouTube. I posted it on Facebook, and on my website, you probably saw this, but you can contact me. You can put in your email and like send me a message. So we were just thinking that we weren't getting any messages until someone was like, "Hey, I sent you a message on your website and you still haven't responded." I was like, "That's weird. We definitely would have responded because we check our stuff every day." So we found out it was a broken link and it was going to an old email. And we were going through, and then we finally got into that email, and then there were years of messages, like so many years, and we were like, "Oh, we gotta get through all these." And I felt so bad. I'm like, all these messages, and this was actually I find it kind of funny, but the very last message was 2 months before I saw it, so I was watching it, and it was 2 months before I finally saw it. So it was the most recent message on there, and I opened it up, and it said, "Hi, my name is blah 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 blah. I'm Rick Emmett, publicist and booking agent, and I would love to send a video of you singing that to him. But I couldn't find it on YouTube, so if you could, please send me a YouTube link of you singing that song in that video." So we were just like, I was heartbroken. I was like, man. And then what made it even worse is we finally posted on YouTube, and we were going to send it to her, but her email was gone.
No.
So we couldn't send it to her. I know, and I was so upset. I was like, dang it.
What? So nothing ever came of it?
No.
Oh. Well, I shouldn't say nothing ever came of it, but yeah, you know what I mean. Oh.
No, I get what you mean. Yeah. I was only heartbroken for a couple months, and then I was like,
couple
all right.
months. Oh no. Hey everybody, it's Jordan. I just wanted to invite you to check us out on Facebook. Like, follow, drop me a message. Let me know if there's someone you'd like to come on the show. Tell me what your favorite podcast episode was. Give me some feedback, tips, tricks, positive stuff, negative stuff. If you have a question you'd like me to ask our guest, let me know on Facebook. I just want to hear from you, so let's talk. I hope to talk to you soon. How do you juggle the normal teenage stuff with being such a successful musician?
So, honestly, I don't really. Like, a lot of the normal teenage stuff is with school, which I'm homeschooled, so it makes it a lot easier so I can travel and do my school for like weeks at a time and get ahead. But I do give up a lot of things. Like, I don't go out with my friends and go to malls and all that stuff. It's usually just me at home working on my music. So in that aspect, I don't really juggle a whole lot of things. It's usually just school and I play music. So it's usually just that.
Do you think that not having a lot of other things going on besides those two things has contributed to your success? Because I've talked to a lot of people about this and the fact that, people can have too many irons in the fire and then they do many things pretty well, but they don't do one thing very well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think this is what I honestly dream of doing for the rest of my life. So I do think that it has helped out quite a bit for me to be where I'm at, because I think if I did go out with my friends all the time, then I wouldn't work that hard for my music to be able to do the things I do, and I would give up a lot of opportunities for me to be focused by going out and doing things. So I like to stay focused on where I want to be, and I like to picture myself in those places, and hopefully they will happen.
Tell me about Big Dog Music Promotions.
Okay, so they are wonderful. We love them. They're great. They've helped me out tons, and we've only just started working with them last year. It hasn't even been a year yet, but they're awesome, and they've helped me get a lot of really cool shows. I'm actually doing a tour this year, so I get to travel to a bunch of different states, and I think I'm going to about 8 or 9 states this year already.
Wow.
Playing at least 3 or 4 shows in each of those, and they've got me a couple really, really big shows that we haven't talked about yet, but they're really exciting, and I can't wait to post about them pretty soon. But we can't post right now.
So did you find them, or did they find you?
I think they found us. It was kind of a mutual thing. Yeah, but I think I'm gonna have about 200 shows this year, probably more than that, give or take. We'll be pretty close to 200, or if not over it.
That's like one show for every song you have memorized.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I saw your Johnny Cash painting on Facebook.
Thank you.
How often do you paint, and what are some other paintings? Like, do you have pictures posted of some of them?
So that painting of Johnny Cash was, it took me about 30 minutes to do that. And
No way.
I'm not really proud of that one.
I thought it was awesome.
Thank you. I like to paint, but my problem is I'm very impatient. So whenever I'm painting, I'm like, oh, this is taking too long. I gotta hurry up. I try to paint as much as I can, or usually paint whenever I want to, honestly. It's just kind of when I feel like I want to paint something. I actually haven't painted in a while. When I painted that Johnny Cash picture, it was like the first time in a minute that I painted something up. But I usually don't post my paintings on my social media because I don't have that many. I only have like 2 other ones that I like.
Would you say that may be something that's just kind of for you? It's something that you aren't obligated to do, and it's not like, it's just another creative outlet for you. Is that right?
Yeah, it's another release, a way that I can put my creativity out there in a different way, a way for me to relax.
Well, you should be proud of it, because the other night for family night, we all painted, me and my wife and the boys, and guess what I painted?
I don't know.
I painted Scooby-Doo.
Oh, that's awesome.
I don't really paint either, but I painted Scooby-Doo. So, like, you painted Johnny Cash, and I painted Scooby-Doo. So I think you're good.
Thank you.
Painting is there's something special about it for sure. Like, especially if you're a creative and you do other stuff, just to sit down and paint something it's quite a unique experience.
It is, yeah.
I want to change gears here. I'm talking to Ruby Leigh, and I want to talk about the live show aspect of what you do. I want to know how you get crowd participation.
Okay, so this is like really quite a simple question for me. So I always try to stand and entertain people, like whether it be like kind of dancing around, which I'm not a great dancer, so people find that funny. But you know, like I'll try to like move around and like I'll get people to clap along and sing along with me. But I find that whatever size crowd it is, doesn't matter. Whenever people are listening, it's probably the easiest crowd for me to get to participate with. You know, you gotta have to make that part of your show, you know, to make it really flow, to get people, you know, you gotta really make them a part of your show. So like I don't want to be on stage and people think like I'm just playing for you, like I'm up there and I just have no feeling.
Background music.
Yeah, like I don't care about the crowd. Like I'm just up there just playing for people. So I always like to ask for requests and get people involved. I ask people how they are, and you know, just to get people a part of the show, because you know you talk to one person and then that whole section thinks you're talking to them. Then that whole section is now a part of it. You know, but I like to talk to everybody. I like to play what they want to hear instead of just songs that I like, because actually a lot of the songs I like are very sad songs. So I try to take as many requests as I can.
I'm so glad you said that, because I've actually talked to a lot of people about that too. In order to get crowd participation, the best way to do that is to play what they want to hear. Is that correct?
Yeah, you know, and even people that are listening, you know, once you have people that are truly engaged and listening, you can play anything. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I mean, you can play anything you want to play. It can be like the saddest song ever, and people would still enjoy it because now they understand it and they're truly listening to it to understand the song. I really like the songs that make you feel something. You know, whatever kind of emotion that be, happy, sad. You know, like I said, I really like a lot of the sad songs because I feel like they have a better story than some of the happy songs do. You know, they're more personal to people. But, you know, it doesn't matter to me, honestly, because I like all the songs I play. So whatever the requests are, it's kind of like, okay, yeah, I like that song too, so I'll play it. So it's kind of like that. I feel like I can connect easier with the audience whenever I play songs that they want to hear and request and things like that.
Well said, well said. Now, being an acoustic artist, I've seen videos of people in your crowds dancing. Now, how do you pull that off? How do you get these people dancing to acoustic music?
There's been a lot of people that are like, well, you got to have drums and you got to have bass and things for people to dance. You know, but just like I said, you make them feel something. When people feel something, you bring back a lot of memories with songs. But I feel like the music is how I get people to dance. It's not. I feel like it's not really something I'm doing. I feel like it's just the message of the song, and I feel like I'm a messenger, honestly, when I sing my music. So I feel like it would probably, you know, be music that gets the people up and the message behind the song.
Well, and the music the message has to be delivered well also. So you getting that reaction is a good sign.
Thank you.
I'm just so impressed because I played acoustic gigs for over 10 years and there was not a whole lot of dancing, let me tell you. So I was kind of indulging there, like I need to know how she pulls this up.
You know, I feel like the music is just so much bigger than I am. So that's how I like to think about it.
That's really cool. Tell me about your best gig. It could be more than one, but tell me about your best gig.
Honestly, I feel like every show is my best gig just because I'm there to be able to play with people. So there was a point where I thought I would never have a show where I'd be able to play by myself. And now being able to even play a show is just wonderful. I do have two adopted grandparents, though. I mean, I've adopted them, which is Mary Jo and Glenn Suman. They're awesome. We love them. They're actually from Illinois, and every time I do an Illinois show, they are almost all the time there. They're wonderful, and they are family, honestly. I'm not going to say they're like family. They are, because there's a lot of people in my family that aren't very supportive of me. Not like my family, like my parents. I mean, my parents and my sister are wonderful, but there's the other family, kind of distant. They don't really care. They kind of wanted to see me fail, honestly. Is how I would describe it. Yeah, so it's great to have people like Mary Jo and Glenn to be there. It's wonderful. We love them. Also, all the people that follow me, 5,800 members of my family. That's what I like to call my fan base, because they're fans, but they're not really fans. They're my family. So I call them Fanamily.
I love it. That's so cool.
Hey guys, check out our cool merch at www.momusicianspodcast.myspreadshop.com, where you could get shirts, hats, coffee mugs, stickers, hoodies, and much more. Now back to the conversation.
We've talked about some positive things. I have a segment on the show called Musical Mishaps. Now, I want to know about when something went horribly wrong at one of your gigs. A blooper, if you will.
So this is not really me, but this is really funny. So my sister is a huge supporter of me as well. She comes to all my shows, and I was playing this outdoor venue, and it was called the Iron Turbine. So shout out to them. And I was playing outside, and they had like a bunch of lights and stuff, and I had all my equipment set up. I think it was like really hot. And so they had all these fans and stuff on. And my sister goes to the outside outlet, and all the fans and stuff are plugged in. She plugs in her cell phone charger, shuts the whole place down. All the lights go down, all the power's out.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and it was in the middle of my show, too. So I'm singing, my mic turns off, everything's off, my speakers aren't working. I'm like, what is going on? And then I look up, my sister's holding her plug. Like, still, like, embarrassed. Everyone's looking. So that was one.
Do you have any, like, original recordings?
Yeah.
Would you like for me to play a song at the end of our conversation?
Yeah. Cool. Fine. I would probably do, In Her Dreams, and this is about a girl who loses her dad. So it's kind of a sad song, but it's a song about looking back through the years and going through memories that she had.
Awesome. Everybody enjoy Ruby Leigh in Her Dreams.
She remembers the first time she ever fell in love, holding hands at a picture show. And as she grew older,
So, Ruby, when I was on your website, I saw that you have lots of sponsorships and endorsements. Tell me about those.
So I'll just give you a list of all the people that are endorsing, sponsoring me. As of right now, there is D'Angelico Guitars, Barton Guitars, Gilly's Nightclub from Mickey Gilly, Franklin Strap, Graph Tech Guitar Lab, Broom Guitars, Brody Tuners, Optima Strings, Electro Harmonics, pedals, Singular Sound, CNZ Audio, QSC Speakers and Sounds, Fishman Amps, Dub Capos, Lewitt Microphones. There's For Real Promotions, Artist Relations, Big Dog Music Promotions, JP's Hideout Pub and Grill in Cottleville, Missouri, Yellow Dog Cafe in Warden, Illinois, Old Time Pub in Highland, Illinois, The Warehouse Bar and Grill in Jonesburg, Missouri, and then there's the Hog Pit in Grafton, Illinois, Barbecue Barn, P. Warren Travel Agency, and Joyce Kelly Music. And that's all of my sponsors and all my endorsements, and I would love to give a big thank you to them for helping me out along the way, because they're wonderful. So if you get a chance, go and check them out.
Awesome. You are an incredibly fortunate lady to have that much support around you. Congrats.
Thank you.
Don't let your fears be bigger than your dreams. I love it. That is a quote from your website. Is that right?
Yeah, that's just something that I had separation anxiety really bad. I was in a tornado when I was nearly 4 years old. It was a Good Friday tornado that went through St. Louis, and I was in the building as it was being torn down. So it was a really, I guess, a hard moment for me in my life. And that was when I was going to school. I was in preschool, and I would cry all day long because I had to be near my parents at like all times. And it was so bad to the point that I was leaving the school. I was running out and trying to find my parents. So my parents would drop me off, and they would wait in the parking lot the entire day just so I could look out the window and see that they were there. And they would come in during lunchtime, and they would have to sit next to me. You know, but it was to the point where the school couldn't really handle it anymore. So after the tornado, my parents bought a insurance company for about 5.5 years, which put us to the point where we were living off of ramen noodles. So to the point where we almost lost our house. And then I started singing, and, you know, I got over the anxiety. I used to be so nervous that I would rub holes through my shirt whenever I was singing on stage. But ever since I got my guitar, it kind of took the place of me doing that. When I first started singing, you know, I was, you know, the drive to sing was so strong that I overcame my anxiety. So now I don't have that separation anxiety anymore, and I can get on stage and not be nervous when I talk to people. So I think singing was definitely a godsend for sure. And I think it's just a huge blessing that I have for me to be able to do what I do.
I really appreciate you sharing that. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Well, Ruby, you're a well-spoken, wonderful young lady, 15 years old. RubyLeighOfficial.com, and check her out on Facebook and YouTube. And I really hope we get to talk again soon, and I appreciate your time tonight.
Thank you. Hopefully you all will come and see me at my shows. I had a great time on here, so thanks for the great question. And hopefully we'll speak again.
Thank you, Ruby. Take care.
Thank you. You too.